Hey guys, welcome back to another Battlefield video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be winging it. There's just a lot of stuff on Reddit as well as Twitter that I want to share. There's a lot going on. And I'm going to be honest, I don't have a lot of time to script a video, so I just want to wing this and we'll see how it goes. Maybe this is how I do my future content. So obviously we've got a new Battlefield experience that we're all anticipating very soon, hopefully this year, but it could be pushed back into next year, early next year. Now this new Battlefield experience is going to be packed full of content. You've got a campaign, you've got multiplayer, you've got Portal, and you've got a Battle Royale as well as a Gauntlet mode, and I want to talk about those last two modes today. The first thing that I want to show you about the Battle Royale is something from Temporal, and if you don't know who that is, he is a widely known, very respected data miner within the community. He's very active on Twitter, and it seems like he's open to conversations via DMs, which I believe this is where this is from. So this guy shared a screenshot of a conversation with Temporal on Reddit, and he details the features that are found in the playtest for the Battle Royale mode. While obviously things can change, here's what Temporal has referenced. One of the things that he confirms right off the bat is that the Battlefield 5 call-in system isn't coming back as far as he can tell. You know, obviously he could be wrong. Says that the client is heavily fragmented. And then he also confirms that he doesn't know anything about the Plus system. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not coming, but he just says that he doesn't know anything about it. Here's a list of the BR features that are referenced. A lot of this obviously is standard stuff as we go through this. So you've got solo, duo, trio squads, you know, multiple playlists. That's a good sign. Insertion via Chinook. So that's pretty standard. If you don't know what a Chinook is, I've got you a picture right here just in case somebody out there doesn't know what it is. Pretty standard stuff. You know, we've seen this in almost every Battle Royale that's ever came out. At least some sort of helicopter or airplane, whatever. Then he talks about parachute, cut parachute. Pretty standard. Armor, hard and soft variants, and then free-to-play component. That's huge. I know a lot of people are worried that this game or this part of the game won't be free to play, but it seems like he's seen some stuff that's pointing to free to play. So you've got missions, call-ins, loot rarity, upgrade kits, and weapon upgrades. So upgrade kits, I don't know, you could do a lot with upgrade kits, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that. Now, here's the big thing for me. So I'm a big fan of Firestorm, and if you played Firestorm, you know that there was the fire that closed in. It was very ominous. It destroyed buildings. The sound of it was actually pretty scary, but he says shrinking circle, probably fire. So I'm going to assume that that was a callback to Firestorm, which I am a huge fan of. I love hearing this. Hopefully they bring back the destruction and everything that was so unique about that closing circle. One thing that I'm not loving is second chance respawn. You know, hopefully that mechanic is hard to achieve. That mechanic, it's just abused right now. Older games like Blackout, you know, respawns didn't exist. And when Battle Royales first started getting going, there was this intensity, you know, it was like, hey, I've got one life, I've got to be careful here. And now, dude, it's just like every game has some sort of respawn mechanic, and it's easy to get to. So it takes away the risk is what I'm saying. So hopefully that mechanic is very hard to achieve. And then he closes with pretty standard stuff, right? There's nothing here that's like, wow, you know, other than the shrinking circle. I'm pretty excited about that because I'm a Firestorm fan. So, but what this does is it confirms that there is a Battle Royale that's in the works. Like, it's in the files. He's reading files that are in the playtest right now. Before we move on from the Battle Royale, one last thing I want to point you to is over on his Twitter. He's been replying to everyone about all the leaks. He's been talking about vehicles, weapons, maps, all kinds of stuff. And in this feed, he was actually talking about something totally different, but somebody asked, is the BR map potentially a tropical US location? And he replies, not enough references available, but here are some points of interest. So we've got downtown, Main Street, Marina, military base, military R&D, military storage, and tech center. These are all POIs within the Battle Royale map. And then somebody else replied, that's definitely the US. Wonder if it'll be Florida or California. He says, I guess California. So if you've been hiding under a rock, there's been a lot of concept art that's got leaked out there into the community. It's on Reddit, it's on Twitter. You can Google it, and it's plastered everywhere, all right? It's not been taken down. I don't know if anybody has confirmed whether it's real or not, but it does confirm a lot of these locations that Temporal has pointed out in his Twitter. I'm not going to pull it up, but he's been confirming all the locations that are in the files it matches where these concept art pictures are taken. There's one concept art that actually has a Sunset Boulevard sign in it. Obviously, if you know anything about LA, there's Sunset Boulevard right there. So I don't know. It's seeming like to me, and this is just a guess, I don't even think Temporal knows for sure, but it seems like the Battle Royale map is going to be set in LA or somewhere in California. For me, I'm stupid excited about this Battle Royale. I know a lot of people were burnt out on it. You know, you go on my TikTok and sheesh, man, people hate the idea of a Battlefield Battle Royale, but you know, in my opinion, I think there's a lot of potential there to bring in a whole new player base into Battlefield. A lot of guys, you know, they're playing Warzone right now. They're pretty worn out with that. So this might be an opportunity for Battlefield Studios to do something special here. We'll have to wait and see. All right, so that was Battle Royale. Now I want to talk about the Gauntlet mode that's coming. And to me, this is a pretty unique mode that I don't think Battlefield's done anything like this before. And to be honest, I don't think we knew a lot about this mode until here recently. So again, somebody shares a screenshot. It looks to be a DM, maybe on Twitter. But again, it's a conversation between somebody and Temporal. He says, you know, it's an elimination mode for smaller teams, solo, duo, trio, and squad, featuring various mission types: circuit, contract, decryption, extraction, heist, rodeo, standoff, vendetta, and wreckage. So a lot of those, you know, you can probably put the pieces together and know what those are. But some of these, I don't like. What's rodeo? I don't know what rodeo would be. I don't know what vendetta would be, or wreckage either. So some of these I'm like, I got an idea, but some other ones I'm not so sure what they are. And then he goes on to explain like how the process of it goes. So you're gonna do an extraction mission, then a round of capture the flag, and then maybe killing a high value target, and so on. So not exactly in that order, but all of these up here, you know, circuit, contract, decryption, all that stuff up there, there will be some sort of randomized order of those contracts that you do. Then he says after each mission, only a certain number of teams advance to the next. Not sure about the exact procedure or numbers. So, you know, don't know if this is something that has multiple squads in it, or if you're going 1v1 against a squad. I will say that over on Twitter a couple of days ago, this has since been taken down, by the way, so you can't find these, but I did see about 7 videos of a Gauntlet tutorial. And what it was just like 3 or 4 second clips of just some dots. You know, you had a clump of dots over here, a clump of dots over here. I think it was like 4 dots on each side. So squad versus squad. And one was red, one was blue, or whatever. And it showed various different stuff that they were doing. So if you think about like the game mode, like domination, for example, where you had like a zone that you have to capture, it showed that for a few seconds. Another one, it had like a king icon above one of the dots, and one on each squad, and they were fighting against each other. Those videos were definitely confirming like there's some multiple different missions here, different contracts, whatever you want to call modes. It all confirms that there will be some kind of Gauntlet tutorial videos that you can watch. It was on some random Twitter account. I can't find that Twitter account anymore, but if you looked hard enough on Telegram, I'd say that's where they're at, because that's where he originally posted them, and then he shared them to Twitter. All right, so anyway, the other thing that he confirms here is that it's going to be on the same map as the Battle Royale map. So you've got points of interest like Crash Site, which wasn't, by the way, on the other Battle Royale points of interest that he had. Downtown, Main Street, Marina, Military Base, includes R&D and storage. That's another new one. And Tech Center. And then another big thing that he confirms is probably also involving some kind of free-to-play approach. So it looks like Battle Royale is going to be free to play, and it looks like Gauntlet is going to be free to play. And then the last thing that I'm going to show you is just over here on Twitter, but somebody asked about what the Gauntlet mode is, and he says a new mode where teams compete by completing various missions, capture the flag, hunting a high value target, with the worst team being eliminated after each round. So if I didn't clarify that before, it looks like, you know, the weakest team is going to get eliminated, and then it'll leave one squad remaining after everything's said and done. So I play the finals quite a bit. This reminds me of World Tour. You know, if you've never played the finals, essentially it's like a tournament style, like a bracket style. The weakest team gets left off until, you know, one final team is remaining. So this kind of seems like a more competitive round-based mode. Again, it's not been confirmed if you're going to be fighting multiple squads or just one squad at a time. I don't know. You know, he does confirm over on Reddit that it's a solo, duo, trio, and squad situation. So, you know, you got to think like you've got a battle royale that's going to be solo, duo, trio, and squad, but you've also got Gauntlet, which is solo, duo, trio, and squad. So right there, you've already got 8 playlists to load into, plus whatever multiplayer is going to bring, you know, obviously Conquest, probably Rush, Breakthrough, you know, whatever else comes, Operations. There's a lot there, a lot of different playlists. And again, one of the things that I want to point out before we move on is that we don't know if this is going to come with the launch of the game. Just because the files are in the playtest files, we don't know if that's going to come at launch or if it's going to be like a post-launch kind of thing. Okay, and then lastly, one thing that just got popped up an hour ago. This is Sunday night as of the time that I'm recording this. So an April 4th test is coming, and it looks like somebody just copied and pasted the email, maybe from Battlefield Studios. So they don't confirm any kind of new mode or map or anything that's coming to the new playtest. I believe this is the third playtest. But they do confirm that it's on April 4th. What I thought was pretty neat too that they added in here was session 2 game stats. So you've got some percentages of stuff. You can pause and read that if you want to. And then they close with, you know, confirming the date as well as times and time zones. And then they say, based on what we've learned so far, we'll continue to focus on combat tempo, time to kill, and time to die. And then as they close it out, they say, as we close this review, we want to remind you that the NDA you agreed to actively applies to Battlefield Labs. Recent violations, including email, information, and gameplay sharing, have resulted in multiple account suspensions as well as permanent removals from all aspects of Battlefield Labs and subsequent follow-up with our legal team against violators. So guys, this is serious stuff. Legal teams are involved. When you sign an NDA, it is a document, like a legal document. So I know there's people not taking this seriously and just sharing whatever they want to share, but Battlefield Studios has every right to chase after you with a legal team. Like, this is serious stuff. I just want to say that out loud. So that's going to be it for today. A little bit different of a video, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you like this interaction better than, you know, scripting and all the fancy editing stuff. You know, I slapped this together pretty quickly. So I'm excited about this battle royale. I'm really excited about Gauntlet too. You know, I have a lot of fun competing in FPS shooters. You know, Halo and the finals just drive that competitive nature in me, and this seems like something so far, based on what I'm reading, that Gauntlet can be pretty competitive. So I'm pretty excited about that. Also, I'm on X as well as TikTok, so you can follow me there on my socials. Don't forget to like and sub on the video. Join the Discord as well. We can play some games and have some conversations about Battlefield and all other FPS games. Hey, have a good week, and I'll see you on the next one.